This is the book of John, chapter 44. Salakia. This is the book of John, chapter 8, and verse 40. I'm start at verse 42. And Yahushua said unto them, If the Most High were your Father, ye would love me, for I proceed forth and came from the Most High. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Verse 43. Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Kol Elohim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that told me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. I want to say shalom to the Akim and the Akwata to listening and learning, Lord, willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yahusap coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shemiah. And this lesson is inspired by a video a brother did. So, I'm going to be not lambasting. I'm going to use his video to make my point. Fair use, fair use. Lord willingly, brother, don't strike it or nothing like that. But it caught my attention because the fact that he made a statement. Well, the person that was speaking made a statement. And, like how we've been saying, we told you so. We told you so. And I'm going to say, how they say sometimes a person don't want to be saying I told you so. Well, I'm going to say I told you so, we told you so, because you goofy ass, blockhead ass, two-third ass niggas, you spiggers, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. Y'all wanted this shit. Y'all voted for this Edomite as a king that's not of not of our nation, and you trusted him, then you trusted in this Edomite, DJ Trump, more than you trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua. You treat him as if he's a God, you know what I mean? And this man has a mindset that he is a God, but the scriptures talk about, you pretty much gonna die like a man. I know it's in Ezekiel chapter 28. I know it talks about Israel dying like men, and it talks about this devil being brought, pretty much, you say he is a God, but he's a man, roughly paraphrasing the book of Ezekiel. When you go into John chapter 8, verse 44, they trusted in the devil, this red Hebrew Edomite, more than they trusted in Yahweh Shah. And that's the mindset of two-thirds of our people today. We coming not with our own words, we're coming out of the scriptures. And these people rejected now like they rejected it once then, And that's how you know this truth is only for a select few, the elect. That's how you know it's not meant for everybody to get it, Because it's multiple stumbling blocks. You stumbling on a Edomite, on a carnal man. This man has surrounded himself with all kind of technocrats, but because they got somebody laying hands on him, reading out the scriptures, which more than likely, like I remember the one pastor that pretty much was at his inauguration. This motherfucker came out with a mean digital currency coin right afterwards. So, what I mean? For those that, scriptures talk about if our gospel be hid, it's hid to those that are blinded. And the scriptures talk about how the God of this world has blinded, the minds and eyes of men and women, And that's for those that pretty much the Lord don't want, Like the elder said earlier, I was watching a video, or rather listening to a video. He was saying, you got different camps that's pretty much stumbling blocks, and that's the way it is, because it's not multiple ways. Oprah made that stupid ass statement talking about there's many ways to the Most High, and no, it's not. It's many ways to lead you from the Most High, but it's only one path to truth, and it's the straight gate. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. So when he go into verse 44, say ye are of your father the devil, because he was talking to Jake. He said y'all not, he said if if the Most High were your father, you would love me. He's talking to his own people. He said, for I proceeded forth and came from the Most High. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. He said, but why do ye not understand my speech? So they couldn't understand, what the Messiah was saying, because it wasn't, the scriptures talking about giving them eyes that they can see and ears that they can hear, but they wasn't meant for them to hear, because they were meant to set up to be judged. Scriptures talk about when David said, "Make thy table a snare unto them." Being the table representing the scriptures. Ye are your father, the devil, because like I said, this 2/3 of our nation still to this day are running after Esau, Edom to be their father. What or be they father. And the spiritual part about this video is, they cutting off all the aid now. Now where you gonna go? And the cold part is the Lord gonna turn his back on you too. You gonna refuse. You want to come back when the times get hard. But you know what? I also said this: when the times get hard, you're gonna have a lot of believers. A lot of believers is gonna come out of Jacob's trouble, or the times leading up to Jacob's trouble. How about that? This is the Most High's movie. We just all along for the ride. So I'm gonna play this. Fair use, fair use. I'm not profiting enough for this. Just lining up scriptures with what is being said in the video.
Households, it all uncomfortable shit out. Y'all, I'm about to say something real uncomfortable. I'm gonna say the real uncomfortable shit out loud. And this is not directed towards one demographic at all. But the mindset of being on welfare or public assistance and it being a generational thing, that shit gotta stop.
And the thing is this, the Lord set that up for that. Like, I've literally met people like that. I remember when we was homeless and I got us off the street, but my demon was such a demon. This bitch, you know what I mean? Like, nobody like raised her, you know what I mean? She had no common sense or nothing, just was my way, a big ass kid. And you know what I'm saying? Like, now don't get me wrong, I set myself up for failure as well, you know what I mean? Because I was a lot like childish in a lot of ways. I should have let that bitch have certain shit. I ain't got to prove my point to a bitch. But at the same time, it's like, I'm killing myself. You know how that shit go, you know what I mean? And in this wicked ass society, a man will break his back. My brother used to make a saying. He used to make a statement. He said, a bitch in this society can lay on her back while a nigga, he said, a nigga got to break his back while a bitch can lay on her back. And, a man to make it will break his back to live while a bitch can lay on hers and have her way. But that shit about to be out the window. A nigga ain't about to be up there. These 2/3 of, like said, men of the Lord, like the elder said, we gonna have our pick, and you better be like, you better be profitable. Sucking and fucking, that ain't really, like when the motherfuckers try to get at your ass, the last thing you really thinking about is sucking and fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't thinking about no sucking and fucking at that time. You can keep that head over there. I mean? You saw the book of Eli. She said, "Can I come?" He said, "No." Because you a demon. You know what I mean? You was just with 13 niggas. They was having their way. And she accustomed to that type of shit now. You know what I mean? Like, again, this shit gonna be real deal Holyfield, But the Lord then got these people set in their ways so much. You got people right now still, like I'm talking to this female that literally work at, she in the food industry. And she like, yeah, the checks got to be hitting because people is at this restaurant all the time. These stupid ass people go into these restaurants. I mean, they trying to, escape their sorrows and whatnot, but you gonna waste that money when you should be trying to save that shit. She at least said that, but she said, I'm gonna pay off this and do this, and I'm gonna put the rest of that shit up. Because them tariffs hit next month, next week, in fact.
Yesterday, the support is not going to be there anymore. They're cutting all types of funding. I know people, we all know someone who has had baby and baby and baby after baby to stay on public assistance. People are not going to have that option anymore. It's time to wake up, it's time to get up, and it's time to do something better for yourselves.
What's that, Romans chapter 13? It say, time to wake out of sleep, because our salvation is nearer than which we believe. Then, like I said again, you got an individual talking about another 1,000 years. That man is comfortable. When you done made the ministry all about like merchandise, you know what I mean? You selling all this different kind of shit. He'd be the type of dude selling weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to just be a false witness to him, but I'm saying that mindset, it ain't against the scriptures to do that. Nigga, you ain't the only one in the, like I said, wait till the Lord gonna do something cold, because it's so cold. That's how I know we at the end, because the Lord exposing these fake ass, call themselves prophets and men of the Lord. No, you a nigga that knows some scriptures.
Like, this shit is about to be so real. Section 8 being...
And it's a woman and she can see it. But you talking about 1,000 years? Man, I ain't gonna say fuck that nigga because he an Israelite. But at the same time, some Israelites make you say fuck that nigga for real.
Passed down.
Because look, I'm doing this on my own. Motherfucker, you telling me I gotta wait another thing? You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about, man? The signs is what tell us how near we are. And you supposed to be the chief Wahoo / Big Brother Almighty. Like, man, go ahead. That's how all these debates, because you're trying to do that shit for money, man. You're doing a polite with an Israelite twist.
One family member.
And I said it.
To the other, they cutting all that shit out. That's going to be no more. I literally know people who have passed their Section 8 down from...
I didn't even know you could do that shit.
Mother to mother to daughter.
Show you how cold the Lord is. My daddy was in the military, right? And, once you're in the military, you can get like this housing voucher thing. You know what I'm saying? Where you can get houses. I forgot, it's like the VA type of thing where you don't have to have the full money. My father said he gave that shit to me before I died. I don't know what the fuck I did with it. Ain't that something? That was like one of the last things we got into it about. But you know what? I used to stay like lit out my mind, like just completely like brain dead. And I understand why now. They'll catch me fucked up. Like, why is you getting so geeked and blown out your mind like that? Because it makes sense now. Because this is how heavy my spirit, you know what I mean? I had a heavy lot. And I ain't saying mine's the heaviest or, like brothers don't go through shit. But, again, that's, and I'm glad I don't have it. I mean, it'll come in handy right now. But all they were eliminating these programs for you to qualify for that shit. Think about it. It's going to be a universal basic income. For you to qualify for any kind of public health help or housing or, UBI, you're going to have to be ingrained in this system. So I'm grateful, you know what I mean? Like, just like with the whole, don't get me wrong, we can utilize certain shit, but like I said, you're going to have to really depend completely on the Lord. These things, the benefits have gotten us to this far. But, you got to detach your mind and yourself from this system. I don't get anything but like, food stamps in our medical. You know what I'm saying? But, they cutting a lot of shit. They cutting Medicaid. They cutting a lot of shit. The food stamps. And it's the same devil said he wasn't going to do it. Scripture says never trust thine enemy.
And I'm not judging anybody. Because I, as a young single mother in my 20s, I was on all the assistance. I took...
Call Loyim La Yahweh Shemi Al Shah. Call Loyim La Yahweh Shemi Al Shah. Call Loyim La Yahweh Shemi Al Shah by Hashem Racha HaKodash.
Full advantage of all the assistance. So I'm coming from a place of I was there. But again, the government's not going to take care of these kids anymore. They're not going to take care of you. And mentally, we have to start changing the way we do things.
President Trump has endorsed a House budget plan that would make sweeping cuts to Medicaid. Under the proposed budget bill, roughly $880 billion would be cut from Medicaid, and $230 billion would be cut from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as food stamps. The president's endorsement on social media came just hours after he said he would not touch funding for programs like Medicaid, which provides health insurance for Americans with limited income. Dr. Celine Gounder joins us now. She's a CBS News medical contributor and editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News. So, Doctor...
So, that's really all I wanted, because the fact of the matter means I may watch the rest of it, but that's what inspired the video when they said, after he said he wasn't going to do it. And, you can see that brother channel, you know what I'm saying? Shalom to that brother, and Lord will, he don't cut or strike the video. But with that being said, like he said he wasn't gonna do it, but he said he wasn't gonna do a lot of shit. He doing it, you know what I mean? And that's why that term heal is such important, because he made it seem like he was going in one direction and he's doing this and doing that, and then he pretty much, did a whole complete about face. And that's why he read that poem about the snake. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 12. And the point, I'm going to start at verse 10. It reads, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And to the nation of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, your enemy, you got enemies with all the nations, but your main enemy is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the red nation. They talk about the tribe of Gad, which are the Native Americans, tribe of Gad and Reuben. They say that those are the red people, but in actuality, the red people are Esau Edom. You got Gadites that's as dark as Jake. That's why it ain't a coincidence that Jake got a lot of Gad in they family. You'd be surprised. Like on my mother's side, she got a lot of Gadite. So this man has been your enemy since time immemorial. Ever since pretty much out the womb. Tells you that in the book of Genesis about how they battled in the womb, Jacob and Esau. Verse 11, though he humble himself, Esau Edom pretty much, Esau humbled himself on to my, can I have some of that red, that porridge, because he was faint to death, and then, afterwards tried to kill his own brother. It's not, if you got supplanted, no, it's not necessarily Jacob supplanted him, although that's what his name means. At the end of the day, you looked at the birthright as like a inconsequential thing. And that just shows you the carnality of Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? You looking at the right now. You've ever, make you think about the account of the prodigal son. But that was a more righteous, that represents pretty much, the elect coming back to, the heritage, But Esau pretty much, how, the son pretty much squandered his inheritance. Well, Esau pretty much looked at it because he didn't have it right before his eyes. He said, fuck his blessing. And to show you how cold the Lord is, he still gave him a blessing. And his blessing is to pretty much be the sword over the earth. But that blessing comes with pretty much a judgment, It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Think about Christopher Columbus. Individual, they got over here, they didn't know how to actually survive on the land. Gad pretty much helped them live, and they looked at it at the same time when they were being helped, like, oh yeah, these are make good slaves, and put them in servitude. And that was ultimately all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Why is these people can't fucking drive? It's lucky. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Once a snake, always a snake. Once a demon, always a demon. Once the devil, always the devil. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And that make you think of the account of Esther, when you had Haman. And then when you go into the Apocrypha with the additions of Esther, pretty much Haman was pretty much trying to overthrow Artaxerxes in his kingdom. He was trying to assassinate him and take him out of power. Something just like something the devil will do. Something this Edomite will do. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. So after if you don't take heed to it, and then you chose to, deal with this devil, and then he, lay a snare and trap you, then you're going to feel stupid. Verse 13, the point, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? So again, you got to remember, before he even got elected, he was talking about, he read that poem about the snake. Then, if you wasn't aware, we're living in the year of the snake. So it's fitting that this devil was moving like this, because you got to understand, they do everything ritualistically. So pretty much it wasn't coincidence that he became the president in the year of the snake. Because according to the Moabite astrology or zodiac or whatever, This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse Salaki. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he have made crooked? And you got 2/3 of our nation that still want to save everybody, but don't even consider their own nation of people. I've seen that shit happen. I've seen Jake sit up there and say, fuck their own people, but try to help Esau Edom. If you only knew what they really think about you and feel, the Lord just let me experience. And then, I've been around them. I know I don't trust the devil. I barely speak. But, now I'm trying to be more sociable because, like the elder said, he was able to talk to small heads and, and have conversations and actually be able to, because ultimately you got to think about it. Like, you didn't pick your part in the movie. So, is you really going to be mad and hateful? But at the same time, they truly hate us. I've experienced it multiple times in my life. You got some Jakes that they never respect. You got young Jake that ain't really experienced a lot of shit. So when, while they think they, and I'm not trying to poke or take a jab at nobody. What I'm saying is experience is your best teacher. You thinking one way, but till you experience it, that's a whole totally different monster. You know what I'm saying? You got people that go to war and, once they get in war, they shit themselves, they throw up, they don't know, because they ain't never experienced it before. It's nothing like experience, and you don't know how you're going to react to the experience until you go through it. You got men at war and turn into bitches. That's just fact of the matter. Everybody don't do no old dog and run into the bullets. You know what I mean? You got niggas that run and leave their comrades. Now ask some of these elder brothers that actually been in war. Now I'm not saying that they ain't seen that, but those things can happen. That's why they don't want women, on the battlefield, because they are a liability. 9 times out of 10, a man's mindset is to try to protect a woman. By trying to protect this woman, you could get you gonna get this man killed. I think it was a famous thing. They was talking about how pretty much, or that might have been a movie, but I can see it happening in real life. It's a sniper, pretty much, he's shooting the wound so he could basically kill people trying to come help. Dangerous motherfucker, just like Esau Edom. So you're not gonna be able to fix this you're not gonna be able to fix this devil, because the Lord created him to be the wicked. Scriptures talk about the deceived and the deceiver are both his. Those that's getting deceived by this devil, the Lord wanted to be deceived, and the Lord got the deceiver thinking that the Lord with him, when he ultimately setting you up for failure. Fuck, the Lord ain't with no Edomite, but you're gonna serve his purpose. It's the book of Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21 is, well, I'm gonna read up. It's the book of Psalms chapter 55 and verse 19. The Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Salam, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. We know this devil doesn't even believe in the Most High. That's why he makes the proud ass statement that he does. That's why he does the wickedness that he does. This devil thinks he a power upon himself. Especially with this technology. Scriptures talk about their thoughts of the Most High are far from them, roughly paraphrased. Verse 20, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. Look at, the peace treaties that this devil made with the tribes of Reuben and Gad. And then to go on and just break them, without a hesitation.
If you did not get your funeral coverage, pay close attention.
Because that's the nature of this demon, the devil. Because when you go into the word devil, it means deceiver, meaning a liar, a slanderer. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, he have broken his covenant. And that's how you know that you can't never trust this motherfucker. And that's how you know who these people are. You know what I mean? And good for these people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you ain't found out by now, that's how you know it's heavy enchantments on those that the Lord ain't dealing with. Because, nigga, if you ain't figured out by now this rigged ass game where neither side really, pretty much brings forth, you just suffered with Biden for real. But just imagine how they about to suffer with Trump. Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Because at the end of the day, what? He had even 2/3 of our people. I remember the one elder from the West Coast, he was saying, they're saying like he was at the gym, and he was talking about, you had Northern Kingdom up there talking about, yeah, we for Trump. And he was like, the Northern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom brother was up there, he had 2/3. He was like, well, he was up there like, yeah. He's standing on that shit. And now don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel stupid though? Because pretty much he sucked everybody, he sucked those people that the Lord ain't dealing with into believing that he was going to make America great again. And not knowing the whole time you doing a mantra to witchcraft and sorcery. MAGA. Which that MAGA or dark MAGA is Elon Musk. That dude is a heavy, dark warlock for real. And then, it's funny because I think about I think in Iron Man 2 or 3, he pretty much had a cameo. I don't think it was the first one, but he was in Iron Man. And then look at the agenda now. Sure, you like the elders been saying all the time about how all these actors and Hollywood are, paid off. They part of the agenda. So I'm going to end this with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, meaning the son of destruction, which is Esau Edom. We had to fall away from, our heritage, from the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures, and now that we're coming back, now this man is being revealed, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. This man thinks he's a God. He's not, he about to create a system where these people are worshipped. And just imagine, like I said again, when you can't move about like you want, that's one of the, being in poverty is one thing, but to be able to at least move around or do, have emotion is a whole totally thing. It's a mechanism to allow you to be in a cope with it. Just imagine when you really in a prison planet, man, and you're going to have people that's going to sign, because they about to make it real, real bad. So, how Mortal Kombat, they was like, test your might. We about to all test our faith. Verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. And the mystery of iniquity was, who was this devil? Who was the wicked? Esau Edom. He's being revealed now. And pretty much all these Babylonians are recognizing it. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Which Luke chapter 1 tells you the spirit of the Lord's mouth is the prophets. We pointing out and been exposing who the devil was. And now it's manifesting before your eyes that you see this. I'm laughing at the times of this shit. I know they watching me just because simple fact. I'm like, how the fuck y'all do both of them though? Like what? Now, the thing that, like I said, I know that we almost at the end, and the fact of the matter is I ain't did nothing wrong. And that's just like with this truth. We ain't did nothing wrong. So the thing is, they gonna make they move and the Lord gonna fuck these devils up. Now, it's the difference if we did something wrong. Well, I know I ain't did nothing wrong, and we ain't did nothing wrong for exposing this man to be the devil. The Lord expects us to do that. That's our superpower in this thing. This man coming with lies and we coming with the truth. That's our superpower right now. But wait till the Lord really give certain brothers, those super special brothers, spiritual power. Gonna fuck this devil up. You know what I'm saying? I remember the elder talking about he had a dream on that. He said that brother that had that super strength, he said we fucked him up. He said, verse 8 again, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, which is Esau Edom, the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And isn't that Neuralink being pretty much, like, I think it's been government approved? So it ain't coincidence that all this happening around the same time either. Verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. 2/3 of the nation of Israel refused to hearken unto these words, so they're going to be destroyed. And rightfully so. The Lord ain't, like, he ain't dealing with no 2/3. 2/3 ain't going to fully believe. A 2/3 to get a spiritual power and try and fight the Lord. I'm wanted like this. They're like, verse 11. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. You believe the man of another nation really had your best benefit in mind, when it's plain to see that DJ Trump is a fucking racist. I remember Omarosa, and show you how cold it is, and she deserved that dumb bitch. You thought you was doing something slick. You was looking down on your own people, got in that cabinet with DJ Trump. You recorded them saying all kind of racist shit, and none of that shit mattered at all. That shit funny. Goofy bitch. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Know why these people refuse to hearken and believe? Because they love this place. So let it be their tune. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo-Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kodash, double honors to the elders, to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua to listen and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah. And Wakalababah.